Hello, my name is Brandon, and welcome to Retro Reactions, a place where I experience amazing music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s for the very first time. And today we're headed back all the way to 1976 to listen to Squonk by Genesis. I'm really loving this album so far, A Trick of the Tail, and I'm really excited for this one, as I am for the rest of the songs on this album, which I'm going to get to. And I know this is about a mythical creature, so here we go. Love that bass. Okay, wow. Interesting. Really enjoying this one. You know, a lot of it sounds like 80s Genesis or even a touch of 80s Phil solo work. So I really love that this has like this album and maybe this whole era, you know, late 70s is kind of a bridge between early prog Peter Genesis and 80s Genesis, 80s Phil work. So it's really cool, the transition. It's slowly leading, but I'm hearing, twinges of that in this song, and really appreciate that. I think the verses especially reminded me of Phil's solo work. So again, I love him. Love this band, love Peter, love it all, and just love seeing the different mixes and formations of this band in the different time frames. It's really interesting, really, really impactful, no matter, what the year, what the era, what the lineup. So interesting. Great drumming. Lots of great drum fills going on here. And I know that's probably Phil. I think you guys have told me that, Phil always stayed on drums even when he went forward and became a lead singer of this band. Is that true? And so, I'm assuming it's Phil, and he's impeccable no matter what or when, And again, great drum fills, very powerful, very deep bass drumming, deep, rich drumming going on here. Really love it. As far as the bass itself, really great bass line going on here. It sure sounded like synth bass in the beginning. I know I made a comment while it was happening, and then did it switch to guitar bass? It sure sounded like it. There was one point I noticed the bass was really cool. It was kind of like a doo-doo-doo-doo-doo kind of thing going on. Probably slower than that, but just a repetitive bass notes that really caught me, and I really enjoyed that. Great vocals as always. I mean, Phil Collins, perfect singer. I think we all love him for that, among his other talents, songwriting, drumming, etc., just musicianship in general. His vocals always both transport me and transform my mind and emotions. And it's just that power he has to mold, the current state we're in, the current emotions we're feeling. And that's the mark of a true master when it comes to a musician and a singer and everything else that he is. So really appreciate that, of course, as always. This one's really interesting. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was about a squonk, which is a mythical creature, which I read up on real quickly. So I have a feeling, a little feeling of the subject matter and what they're talking about. We'll delve into the lyrics more after this, but it's a mid-tempo song, but I expected going in for it to be very sad, a very kind of, a moody, depressing feeling with the music, not the lyrics. And surprisingly, I found this to be a very mellow, almost a feel-good song. That's the feelings I've got so far during it. Yeah, there's different waves, and it's taking us, slightly in different directions in different parts of the song. But again, a real feel-good, calm, mellow feeling with this one. Really interesting. Didn't expect that. So let's finish it off and see if it stays that way or takes us somewhere else. Oh. Wow. Very interesting ending. Did not expect that. Huh. So they slowed it down and they just faded it out slowly with that theme. Totally different thematics going on at the end there. Huh. Interesting. It almost took me back to Entangled. Not necessarily in the melody or anything, but just the soft feeling of the song. Uh, which makes sense because Entangled is so beautiful and gentle, and then it hits you with this, much more upbeat, much more intense song here. Not too intense, but just enough. And then by the end, it just takes you down slowly, and I really like that. Wow. Wonder if this is I know this was definitely a Journey song. I wonder if this is a Journey album. Again, I'd have to hear it all the way through, which probably makes perfect sense and is the thing to do, but can't do it, unfortunately, the way I've started, song by song. But I bet when you hear it all together, it makes even more sense and has even a greater impact. And I'm pretty sure that's true. You guys can confirm that for me. I'll just say it again and again. I love Phil in all his forms, in all his eras, and so definitely love this song. Thought it was excellent. I didn't notice much guitar going on, and I don't know why. So in editing, I'll have to listen for that and see what kind of guitar work's going on. I did notice, of course, one of my favorite keyboardists of all time, Tony, doing his thing. It was a lot more subtle, his work in this song, after the intensity that I hear in things like Firth the Fifth, but definitely stood out, and I always appreciate him. The bridges were great. It almost seemed like there were two bridges. I was shocked to hear this amazing bridge after my pause. Loved it. And then, towards the end, we kind of took a totally different direction. Several directions in this song. And it almost seemed like a bridge. It was just maybe some kind of outro. And again, it led to that slow, soft, gentle ending. And very unexpected, The first half seemed more of a traditional song, and then they took their turns and took me by surprise, and I loved it, of course. So going to check out the lyrics now. So all around, pretty sad lyrics, which is kind of interesting and surprising, since to me this song was very, not very, but somewhat uplifting and just calm and mellow feeling. So again, a juxtaposition for me between the lyrics and the music for sure. It's basically discussing, again, the Squonk, a mythical creature that's been discussed for a long, long time. It's saying it's a sad, scared creature, all alone and crying as he makes his way, literally, through life down the road, with no hope in sight. And then, it tells a story of a hunter coming in, tricking him, befriending him, and then ultimately capturing him in a sack. And as the hunter carries him along in the sack, the Squonk ends up dissolving into a pool of tears, which they're known to do. And I guess there's multiple Squonk, and it's just basically at the end summing it up by saying it's hopeless for your kind, You're a dying race or breed, whatever you want to call them, and there's just no redemption. And so, no hope in this song. Very, very sad, in my opinion. That's the way I read it. And for those of you not familiar with the Squonk mythology, here's a passage kind of describing them in general. The Squonk is of a very retiring disposition, generally traveling about at twilight and dusk. Because of its misfitting skin, which is covered with warts and moles, it is always unhappy. Hunters who are good at tracking are able to follow a Squonk by its tear-stained trail, for the animal weeps constantly. When cornered and escape seems impossible, or when surprised and frightened, it may even dissolve itself in tears. So again, very, very different lyrical subject matter, but it is Genesis. And like Pink Floyd, their creativity is endless, boundless, limitless. And that's one of many reasons why I love them. So I love this song, and I will go and rate it 5 golden records. Yes, Squonk. Genesis, 1976, from A Trick of the Tail. An amazing album so far. So excited to hear the rest of this album. I'm sure I'm going to stay on it. And before I move on, to other Genesis albums, excited to hear everything. I've read snippets of most of the songs online and from a lot of my viewers' comments. Madman Moon is apparently something amazing with Tony. Ripples is supposedly amazing, beautiful. Yes, I'm sure it is. I have no doubt there. A Trick of the Tail, I don't remember what was said. And Los Endos, I believe, is a very percussion, drum-heavy song, or maybe something recapping the whole album. So just so excited. And I can't stop thinking about how all these critics and how all these individuals must have felt the first time they heard this. Probably a lot of them being so skeptical, thinking, Genesis was done with once Peter had left. And they must have been surprised, if not blown out of their socks, hearing this music, hearing these amazing gems, as I am in 2023. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below if you wish to talk about Genesis or anything else retro music, or just to help support the channel. Would really appreciate it. Anyway, you take care, stay safe, stay hydrated, and remember to let peace, calm, and light into your day and night. And I will see you next time in the past.